Good morning. I am Jeffrey Promnitz, CEO of Zeffert and Associates, and the IRS issued an advance notice yesterday, which will be published in their Friday bulletin this week. This contains critical changes, including waiver extensions for affordable housing property operators and agencies. And this is the bottom line. Physical inspection waivers are again extended, and this time until June 30th, 2022. But adding to this is that state agencies now also have the discretion to extend the waiver until the end of 2022 on their own, if in consultation with local public health officials, they deem it to be appropriate. The standard 15-day notice to properties is loosened to 30 days, and this is in effect up through the end of this calendar year, 2022. Now, for file reviews, remember that these still must be completed, but the required 15-day notice is also loosened to 30 days, and this is also in place until the end of this calendar year. This is the bottom line on the IRS notice. Please let me know if you have any questions, and if you want to hear more about this important notice, then just keep listening. First, any IRS reference to the word deadline always means the original deadline, not a deadline that was the result of any waiver. Okay, so what else has changed? Well, the 10% test. If the original deadline is between 4/1/2020 and December 31st of 2020, then the extended deadline is that deadline plus 2 years. If the original deadline is January 1st of 21 through December 31st of 22, then it is extended until December 31st of 2022. What about the 24-month rehab expenditure period? Well, very similar. If the original deadline is between April 1st, 2020 and December 31st of 2020, then it is extended from the original deadline plus 18 months. If the original deadline is between January 1st, 22 and June 30th, 22, it is extended until June 30th, 2023. If the original deadline is between July 1st, 22 and December 31st, 22, well, this is then the original deadline plus an additional 12 months. Lastly, if the original deadline is between January 1st, 23 and December 30th of 23, it is extended until December 31st, 2023. Let's talk about really quickly the placed in service deadline. This is important for many of our partners. If the original deadline to be placed in service was any time up through the close of calendar year 20, it is extended until December 31st, 22. If the original placed in service deadline is the close of calendar year 21 and the 10% test was before April 1st, 2020, it is extended to be placed in service until the close of calendar year 22. If the original placed in service deadline is the close of calendar year 21 and the 10% test is between April 1st, 2020 and December 31st, 2020, it is extended until December 31st, 2023. Lastly, on placed in service, if the original deadline is the close of calendar year 22 and your 10% test was in 2021, then the placed in service deadline is extended until the close of calendar year 23. Here's another important one, the extension to satisfy occupancy obligations. If the close of the first year of your credit period is between April 1st, 2020 and December 31st of 22, the qualified basis is calculated, okay, by allowing an increase to the low income units for an additional 6 months from the close of that first credit period year. If there are any correction periods, if an agency set a correction period between April 1st, 2020 and December 31st, 21, your correction period is extended by an additional year. Okay, now how did we even get here? Let me share a moment about that really quickly. It was back in March 13th of 2020 when the president issued an emergency declaration using the Stafford Act to provide tax relief to deadlines for anyone affected by COVID. And this applied to all 50 states, including DC and 5 territories. Okay, on April 27th of 2020, the IRS issued in their bulletin some relief between April 1st of 2020 and July 15th of 2020. And then on July 20th, there was a deadline extension until the end of 2020. On February 8th of 2021, the IRS extended deadlines again, and they also addressed a few other matters that were not originally specified. That brings us to where we are today. Thank you. Let me know if you have any questions.